Right, listen, let's talk. Talking of great players, we didn't really talk about the Champions League final with you because, of course, you weren't here on Monday. It was Bank Holiday Monday, and we didn't really get around to do it. But there's one thing I do want to talk to you about, and Joe, our producers, we've spoken about this. It's a great question. So when you look at Cesar Azpilicueta, right, I think he's gone under the radar a bit. He has won with Chelsea. He's been there 9 years. He's won 2 Premier League titles. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Europa League twice. He's won the FA Cup. He's won the League Cup. And he's been Chelsea's Player of the Year. They bought him 9 years ago for £7 million. £7 million. I mean, it sounds like I'm describing someone worth about £80 or £90 million. £7 million. Now, when you look at other players in the Premier League era, and I'm not talking about your Kevin De Bruyne's or your Mohamed Salah's, because people have paid a lot of money for them, right? Yeah. I'm talking about, I mean, the one that jumps off the page for both of us, I know, is Eric Cantona. It says 1.6 here. It was 1.1, I think.
But amazing, the Cantona one. Yeah. For that price was an absolute steal, because that was the final part, wasn't it? And what followed under Cantona and what followed since Cantona was just...
It was the final piece of the jigsaw.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And he left, obviously, something when the youngsters were coming through the system and they were seeing Cantona, the way he went about his game. It was a huge, huge influence on Manchester United as a club, wasn't it? Along with Sir Alex, obviously, let's not forget the influence he had on that team. Absolutely magnificent. There is a few others, by the way. There is Vincent Kompany. If you consider where Manchester City were, he's part of that. He's been there on the old journey with Manchester City. He was a value signing, really, at under 8 million. Thierry Henry were pretty good, even at 14.5 million. Look what he delivered for Arsenal. Yeah. That's pretty...
I mean, you could argue the greatest ever Premier League player.
Yeah.
For £14 million.
Yeah, for 14 million quid.
Bargain.
Absolute bargain.
See, one that's not on
and
here...
Kante, for me.
Which way? To Leicester?
Well, both. Whichever way you it. I think both ways, especially to Leicester for 8 million quid. They won the title and he played a big part of it. Yes, I think a few other players were part of that. Vardy and Mahrez and all that. But Kante, you see the influence as well since he's gone to Chelsea. How good is he? Brilliant.
The best player in that position in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. A player that's not on this list, for my money, he's up there, is Peter Schmeichel. £500,000 from Bromby. That's incredible, isn't it? Went on to be the...
Bargaining it, that's pretty good.
I think the greatest goalkeeper ever. I know there'd be a lot of people that argue that one, but I think for $500,000, you're not ever going to get
So you're going
for
Schmeichel and Cantona, 2 Manchester United players. Shock!
Well, it's hard to beat them, isn't it, though? I'll tell you what I will put in there. I will put Vincent Kompany in there for £7 million. Absolutely. That is ridiculous.
A leader. Proper leader.
What a phenomenal player he was.
Kompany has to be in there. And listen, I said this to you the other day. It's still there now. This morning, the Zola shirt is still on the couch. On the couch. It's been there now since Saturday.
You've got to tidy your place up a bit.
I'm just going to throw it in the barbecue if it's not moved. And that's a warning if he's listening.
Why has he just draped it there as like a celebratory flag to remind you?
I had to watch the game with it draped over there in the first place.
Who do you want to win?
He always does. Every time Chelsea play and he's watching it on TV, he always is there. So it's a thing he does. But then he takes it straight back up and puts it in his drawer. 23. Right. But for some reason...
Sounds like he's about 11.
Yeah, but it's not moved. It's not moved since Saturday.
No, I won't make the joke I'd make if this show was at 10 o'clock at night. Ronaldo's on the list. 17 million to Man United. Could he be? I mean, he should be on the list. 17 million is nothing for a player that's one of the greatest players ever. Yeah. 17 million. That's bargain.
So another man, yeah. So you got Ronaldo. Let's just get this right.
Yeah.
Cantona.
I'd stick Vidic in there as well. 10 million.
And Vidic is great. It's ridiculous.
It's difficult to argue against him. Difficult to argue.
Oh, my word.
Schmeichel, Cantona, Vidic,
what about
Ronaldo.
Canio to West Ham. And what he did at West Ham.
He didn't play for United, did he? Yeah, it was great, but was it a game changer for West Ham? I mean, what did they do? What did they do with him? I know he was brilliant, but
West Ham fans would say he's still an absolute legend at the club. Great
to watch, but what did he turn them into? The players I've named made the difference. Thierry Henry, do you know, went on to be the greatest ever. Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest ever.
Well, we said Zola. Zola's on the list. What about him? Under 6 million. He's still talked about as an absolute legend at Chelsea, isn't he? I mean, they absolutely love him.
Go on, if you had to pick one, so we're looking for the best
pound for pound. If I had to pick one, I would pick
Cantona.
I just think it's ridiculous what he achieved.
Yeah.
And after watching that United documentary and seeing him on it, and I know it was weird, him talking about himself and the club all the way throughout, but the record he had there, he was there 5 years, they won 4 titles, and the only year he didn't win it was when he was banned. And it's what followed. You listen to all the players that grew up, that were just coming through the ranks at that club, and their biggest influence on that is Cantona. He gets mentioned by them all.
And he still has that presence at the club.
Oh, yeah. When the fans still sing his name.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going Cantona. I would have gone Cantona, but I'll go Peter Schmeichel. I think £500,000 for the greatest goalkeeper
Company's
of all
closer.
time. Yeah, and I know Arsenal fans would put Thierry Henry in there, but we'll put it out to you lot in Radio Land. 08717222344. I'm looking forward to chatting about this one. Pound for pound, the best Premier League signing of all time. And we started with Azpilicueta, and he was only 7 million. I mean, he's
been a bargain, hasn't he?
He's got to be on the list, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's been a bargain.
08717222344. This is Drive on talkSPORT in association with Paddy Power.